Hello, I'm Aruna and welcome to Target Yoga. Today we have a beginner's yoga sequence for tight hips. It's also useful for anyone else who wants to increase flexibility in that area. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You can increase your flexibility at any age. All it takes is patience and perseverance. So grab a thick blanket and let's start. We begin in the Thunderbolt pose, sitting on your heels with the toes touching and the heels slightly apart. Place your palms on your thighs, close your eyes and take a few breaths to center yourself as we prepare for today's session. Slowly open your eyes and come onto all fours for the cat-cow pose. Place your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Inhale, tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly and look up. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the navel and drop your head to your chest. Inhale, tailbone up, belly down and look up. Exhale, round the spine, tuck your navel in and drop your head to your chest. Inhale, tailbone up, belly down and look up. Exhale, round the spine, navel in and drop your head to your chest. Relax and come into a neutral position for some leg rotations. Lift your left leg up to the side with your knee bent and make a circle. Up, forwards, down, back and up. And again up, forwards, down, back and up. Lower your leg. Now lift your right leg to the side and make a circle. Up, forwards, down, back and up. And again, up, forwards, down, back and up. Lower your leg. For the downward facing dog pose, move your palms forwards a few inches. Inhale and curl your toes in. And exhale, engage your navel, lift your knees off the floor and push your hips up and back towards your legs, standing on your toes. Stretch your body and arms towards your legs and keep your head between your arms. Walk on the spot and move your hips around to release any tension. Now try and bring your heels to the floor. If your back starts to round, then bend your knees. Drop your knees to the floor and come into a sitting position with your legs outstretched. For the cradle pose, bend your left knee. Lift your left leg and cradle your left knee with your left hand. Hold the outside of the left foot with your right hand. Draw your leg to your chest or as high as you can comfortably manage. Rock gently from side to side to stretch the hips. Lower your leg and stretch it out. Bend your right knee and lift your leg. Hold the outside of the right foot with your left hand and cradle your right knee with your left hand. Draw your leg to your chest or as high as you can comfortably manage. Rock your leg gently from side to side. Lower your leg and relax. Grab a folded blanket to sit on as we begin the bound angle pose. Elevating your hips is useful if you have tight hips and cannot fold easily from the hips. Make sure you sit on your sitting bones. Keep your legs off the blanket and on the floor so your pelvis is tilted forwards. Stretch your legs out and turn your feet out. Then draw them in a little. Place your right hand under the right thigh and roll the inner thigh out with your right hand. Then pull your foot towards your perineum. This will open the hips further. Then repeat with the other leg, bringing the soles of your feet together and allowing the knees to fall out to the sides. Hold the soles of your feet and gently flap your legs. Now squeeze your glutes and use your thigh muscles to lower your knees to the floor. Release. Squeeze and lower your knees. Release. Squeeze and lower your knees. Release. Relax. Interlock your fingers and clasp your toes. Inhale and lengthen your spine. Exhale and very slowly fold from the hips over your feet to your maximum forward bend. Breathe normally and hold the position. If you can't bend from the hips, it doesn't matter. Just remain upright while you try and tilt your pelvis forwards. You don't need to perfect or force the pose to derive the benefits of any pose. By bending to your body's limits, you will be in the right position for yourself, working the right muscles and getting some benefits. Inhale and slowly return to your upright position. Release your hold, bring your arms to your sides and slowly stretch your legs out. We now move into the seated head-to-knee pose to stretch our hamstrings. Point your toes up to the ceiling. Bend the right knee and draw the sole of your foot in close to your perineum. Rest it against the thigh of the left leg. Inhale and raise your arms up and lengthen your torso. Exhale, tilt your pelvis forwards and fold forwards from your hips to your maximum forward bend. Lower your arms, placing them on the floor, or hold your toes if you can. Breathe normally and hold your position. If you can, try and fold a little more with each exhalation. Again, the degree of the fold doesn't matter. It's more important to keep your legs straight, toes pointed, and to fold from the hips. Inhale and raise your arms and your body together, leading from the hips. Exhale, lower your arms and stretch your right leg out. Point your toes up to the ceiling. Bend the left knee and draw the sole of your foot in close to your perineum. Rest your sole against the thigh of the right leg. Inhale, raise your arms up. Lengthen your torso and keep your back straight. Exhale, tilt your pelvis forwards and fold forwards from the hips to your maximum forward bend. Lower your arms, placing them on the floor, or hold your toes if you can. Breathe normally and hold your position. If you can, round your upper back and bring your forehead to your knees. Don't forget to keep your toes pointing up and your right leg straight. And again, try to go deeper with each exhalation. Inhale, raise your arms and your body together, leading from the hips. Exhale, lower your arms and stretch your left leg out. For the wide-legged forward fold, remain on the blanket. Make sure your legs are on the floor so your hips are elevated and your pelvis is tilted forwards. Spread your legs wide, making sure there's no strain on your inner thighs. Point your toes up to the ceiling and try not to bend your knees. Place your palms on the floor between your legs. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk your hands out, extending from the hips to your maximum forward bend. Breathe normally, trying to fold a little more with each exhalation. Again, the degree of the bend is not as important as keeping your legs straight, toes pointing up, and bending from the hips. Yogics believe that emotional tension and stress are stored in the hips, and as the hips are loosened, these emotions are released. If you experience some emotions while exercising, don't worry, this is normal. Just let it all out and relax. Inhale, walk your hands back. Bring your legs together, come into a kneeling position and move your blanket away. Sit on your haunches and come onto your toes in a frog position. You can hug your shins or place your fingers on the floor. Just move about, stretching your hips out. Try and bring your heels to the floor as you do so. And just have a bit of fun as we warm up for the squat pose. For the squat pose, bring your legs a hip distance apart, heels on the floor, and the toes turned out 45 degrees, knees in line with the toes. Bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra at heart center and use your elbows to push your knees away to stretch your hips out. Keep your back upright. Breathe normally and remain in this position. Slowly kneel on the floor, bring your toes together and part your knees. Sit back on your heels and stretch your arms out. Keep your forearms and your forehead off the floor. Stretch back to ensure your hips are on your heels. Breathe normally. Feel the stretch all the way from fingertips to hips as you relax. Inhale and come back into the tabletop position as we prepare for the low lunge pose. Step forwards with your right foot coming into a low lunge. Adjust your position so your knee is stacked over the ankle. Stretch your left leg out behind you, rest your knee on the floor and point your toes straight back. Lower your torso and drop your tailbone down and push your hips forwards. Look straight ahead. Inhale, grip the mat with your toes and straighten your body slowly. Raise your arms sideways and upwards, bringing them parallel to each other. Take care not to lose your balance. Stretch your fingers and if you are stable, look upwards at your fingers. Hold your breath and position. Exhale and lower your arms. Place your palms on the floor and take your right leg back, returning to tabletop position. Step forwards with your left foot coming back into a low lunge. Adjust your position so your knee is stacked over the ankle. Stretch your right leg out behind you. Rest your knee on the floor and point your toes straight back. Lower your torso and drop your tailbone down and push your hips forwards. Look straight ahead. Inhale, grip the mat with your toes as you straighten your body. Slowly raise your arms sideways and upwards, bringing them parallel to each other. Take care not to lose your balance. Stretch your fingers, and if you're stable, look upwards at your fingers. Hold your breath and position. Exhale and lower your arms. Place your palms on the floor and take your right leg back, returning to tabletop position. For the lizard pose, step forwards with your right foot, placing it to the right of your right hand. Stretch your left leg out behind you with your knee on the floor and point your toes straight back. Push your hips forwards and look straight ahead. Hold your position, breathing normally. Take your right leg back and come back into the tabletop position. Step forwards with your left foot, placing it to the left of your left hand. Stretch your right leg out behind you and point your toes. Push your hips forwards and look forwards. Hold your position and breathe normally. Take your left leg back and drop your knee to the floor and slowly come into a sitting position. For the cow face pose variation, stretch your legs out. Bend the knee of the left leg and place it on top of the thigh of the right leg, with the knee pointing in front, and bring the heel towards the right hip. Hold your ankle, breathe normally, and keep your back straight. Remember to only stretch as far as you can comfortably do so. Slowly release the stretch and straighten the left leg. Bend the knee of the right leg and place it on top of the thigh of the left leg with the knee pointing in front, and bring the heel towards the left hip. Hold your ankle, breathe normally, and keep your back straight. Slowly release the stretch and straighten the right leg out. Lie on your back for the reclined pigeon pose. Bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. Cross your left ankle and rest it on your right thigh. Relax the left knee so it turns away from your torso. Lift your right foot off the floor, thread your left arm through your legs, and interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Very slowly and without using any force, draw your right leg gently towards your chest. Keep your head and shoulders on the floor and your neck relaxed. Breathe normally and feel the sensation as the tension in your hips melts away. Slowly release the stretch, bringing your right foot back to the floor, and uncross your left leg. Repeat with the other leg. Cross your right ankle and rest it on your left thigh. Relax the right knee so it turns away from your torso. Lift your left foot off the floor, thread your right arm through your legs, and interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Very slowly and without using any force, draw your left leg gently towards your chest. Keep your head and shoulders on the floor and your neck relaxed. Breathe normally, and again feel the sensation as the tension in your hips melts away. Slowly release the stretch, bringing your left foot back to the floor, and uncross your right leg. Relax. Keep your knees bent and your feet resting on the floor a hip distance apart. Place your palms on your abdomen and close your eyes as we conclude with some abdominal breathing. Inhale deeply through your nostrils and expand the abdomen. Exhale and contract the abdomen. Inhale and expand the abdomen. Exhale and contract the abdomen. Inhale, expand the abdomen. Exhale, contract the abdomen. Continue with abdominal breathing for as long as you like. I will leave you now. I hope you enjoyed this session. Practice regularly to increase your hip flexibility. Namaste. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to receive more videos, like and share with those who may benefit from this. Namaste.